really good to see you again. It's nice that we can go out for a walk and see each other live.
Yeah, it's great to see you again. I got to say this has been a very strange year. Huh? Luckily we have Teams and we can have effective meetings, but I got to tell you, I'm glad to see you and I'm glad that I'm out of the house.
It's hard to believe that the COVID pandemic has already been going on for more than a year now. It's amazing how fast time flies.
That's true, it's already March. And as you know, this month it's International Women's Day. And I think, especially in such a strange year, we should celebrate it.
Yeah, that's so right, especially this year. I really have the feeling that due to COVID, we really got a lot more on our plate than we used to. Somehow the COVID pandemic reinforced the traditional gender roles. In our house, Martin, my husband, he does a really great job cooking for us because I'm a dreadful cook.
Pretty good.
But so that way nobody starves. But I'm still the main caregiver of the house, and I feel that many women still are the main caregiver of the house. And with our two girls being in their early teens, they've been studying from home, and there is so much more homework and so much more housework. And I've become a part-time teacher and a part-time entertainer. And if you combine that with all our professional responsibilities, it's just really a lot, and it's not easy.
And one of the things we really have to be careful about is the fact that whenever you're in a stressful situation like COVID, that men and women tend to go back to their primary roles. And for centuries, women have been the caregivers. Well, men, yeah, they're the providers, they're the hunters, they're basically the ones who need to protect the family. So they need to be more ambitious, more aggressive, more in control, more self-confident. And yeah, guess what? Those are then typically the skills that are associated with effective leadership. Huh?
It's amazing that these archaic beliefs still stand. You know, the theme of International Women's Day this year is choose to challenge. And that's exactly one of the points that I would like to challenge. You know, things have evolved so much. Society has evolved. What people need and what people believe in, that has changed. And now qualities which are important are more qualities like empathy and listening and being able to relate to people. That's what really counts. And I really think that we should, when we're hiring people or promoting people, these are the qualities we should focus on and we should be looking for.
As teachers and as parents, it's very, very, very important that we tell our girls that they can do anything. That they can be an engineer, they can be a technician, and that's as good and as sexy as being a nurse or a model. So we should really, really tell them that having these soft skills, that's unique. And they should use them as a strength and a differentiator whenever they work in a company. They should not be shy to show what their abilities are, and they should not be afraid to take a seat at any leadership table. Huh?
Yes, indeed. I do think that at Umicore, we and in any company, we do need more women at the seat, and we need them in all functions, in STEM functions, in other functions, and in all levels of the hierarchy. Diversity is so important. It's so much more enriching if you can exchange with people who think differently, who are differently, and that's really important. Besides diversity, I think we should also focus on inclusion, because diversity without inclusion is just an empty word.
Indeed, you're right, actually, and you have to admit it also. Companies that embrace diversity, they have only benefits. First of all, you can tap into a much larger talent pool, which is an advantage. But also companies who have a leadership team that is too homogeneous, they typically march into one direction and they're not so open for change. And in a climate like today, where markets are changing rapidly, that can be a challenge. They really need to basically hire people with a different background, with a different opinion, that will just open up the perspective for the company and in the end lead to more successes for the company. It still comes down to the women themselves. It's in the end the women who need to want a career, and that's very important, and they definitely should not feel guilty about it.
I agree with that, and you know, wanting a career is a decision every woman needs to make for themselves. I mean, some want to do one thing and the other, and I think that's perfectly fine. But guilt is not one of the elements that should be considered as a deciding factor. We want to be the perfect mother, the perfect wife, the perfect daughter, and the perfect professional. And when you're juggling all those things, sometimes you feel you're falling short and that you're not doing everything the way you should be doing, and then you feel guilty. We should be less hard on ourselves.
What you also need to learn is the time that you do spend with your family, that you make the most out of it, that you make it fun, and that it's quality time.
Yeah, yeah.
And to be honest, when I look at my son now, he's 19, I don't see a boy who suffered from a mom who wasn't present. So we really should challenge this idea of always being at home and always be available for your family.
Yes, there is still so much to be done, so many perceptions and beliefs that we need to challenge. But you know, I think we're on the right way and we're going in the right direction.
Governments need to help with quota to stimulate us. Companies can also use quota. Partners need to chip in the household. And especially parents and teachers, that they teach their children that they can do anything that they want and that they should feel confident about their abilities and be proud of what they can do in life.
It's so true. And I really enjoyed this talk, and I was really happy that we could go out today, because when you talk to other women, you just come out energized and motivated. And it was really great spending this afternoon with you.
That's true. We should do this more often.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Absolutely, yes.